Let's understand the agricultural sector through the eyes of global economy. Now we'll study the agriculture sector in 6 factors. 4 key geopolitical themes affecting agriculture are a rise in domestic political unrest, climate change, shift in the international system, and technological transformation. 2 most important shifts in the international system are rising economic strength of Asia, US and China's strategic competition. Also, the growing global trend of mistrust in both business and political elites demands more information and food security, biosecurity and environmental stability. Severe weather events such as droughts and storms are becoming more frequent, and critical resources such as water are under pressure, especially impacting the countries relying on agriculture. There is a constant rise in protest and discontent because of the real or perceived inequality. As the wealthy elite becomes wealthier and the rest of the population sees stagnation in wages and drop in standard of living. Though globally the agriculture sector remained highly manual, the culture of innovating using technology and digital assets shows a consistent higher productivity, larger yields, and enhanced quality. But different global actors pursue different approaches and standards around technological innovation. Compatibility of technology system between the countries will play the key role in agriculture sector. COVID-19 creates threats to the sector which is very sensitive due to food supply security needs. COVID-19 had led us to understand risk, vulnerability, resilience and system shifts of the agriculture system differently. The factors that we now consider are production, global trade, non-essential consumption and inflation. Inflation impacts both producers and consumers. Generally, there is a commodity price rise during inflation, and so do agriculture input prices. Seeing a high demand in seeds, fertilizer, farm equipments, putting an upward pressure on input prices. Over the past 30 years, we have seen 3% annual increase in the farm prices paid. Before pandemic, we have seen a major disruption in the supply of agri products. So, in spite of high demand, we have seen constant price rise. Also, it has forced us to look for multiple strategy sourcing partners. Free trade in agriculture. It means trade agreements between two countries for the import and export goods under a specific tariff. Advantages of free trade: it helps the foreign country to sustain with local brands as the foreign brand is less than the local brands. Outsourcing of products and loss of jobs are the major disadvantages of free trade. This data illustrates our hypothesis. Sustainable agriculture is now an urgent need. Maintaining the natural resource base and the livelihood of producer have to be at the forefront. Agriculture contributes $2.4 trillion to the global economy. Agriculture employs more people than any other industry in the underdeveloped countries. Also, big portion of the GDP lies of agriculture. 43% of the agriculture labor forces comprises of women. Risk management plays a major role in sustainable agriculture. So now let's focus on different risks involved in agriculture. They are weather, prices and diseases. Majority of risks are linked to specific stages in the agricultural value chain and can be grouped into weather-related and natural disaster risks, biological and environmental risks, logistical and infrastructural risks, market and commercial risk, public policy and institutional risk, political and security risk. These risks are not under the control of farmers. So some farmers have developed diversification strategies, meaning growing one crop one year and growing different crop on the same land another year. This practice not only keeps the fertility of the soil intact, but it also controls pests and diseases, and it also helps in increasing the yield. With this, farmers are able to save some money, and with this saved money, they invest in poultry and zero grazing units. In dry season, farmer can still sell their products and make their daily living. Farmers can do many things to manage their risks. No single tool can cover it all. We need to develop an integrated approach for a better risk management strategy. With good information, farmers can recognize the advantages and disadvantages of each risk management options. In this context, the role of government is the key to ensure that an enabling environment to manage risks. Implementation of drone technology can be studied as for farmers, labor cost is a major headache as it is very expensive to pay workers to plant, spray, ultimately harvest crops. However, this is no longer a problem if farmers use this digital and fully unmanned drone crop sprayer. It works by flying over fields and using sprayers to deliver on demand fertilizers and pesticides. Number 2 is indoor vertical farming. This involves building up rather than building horizontally in regards to agriculture, as it encourages individual households and small growers to use growing shelves in order to create a controlled growing environment. These shelves are very versatile. It can use anything from soil to more advanced techniques. Crops are given nutrients by glow lights with sensors to track the temperature. As a result, it is seen this type of farming uses 70% less water than other types of farming techniques. Number 3 is Bounty Gel. Bounty Gel is a soil additive that's on a mission to make crop yield high. Bounty Gel in both its powdered and granular forms use a technology that results in soil that absorbs up to 150 times its weight in water. It holds excess water near a plant's roots in reserve so that if in a dry spell occurs, it can then release water into the crops. Digital farming, the next way to grow. Typical supply chain involves complex interconnected processes between various stakeholders, starting with tracking the place of origin, ingredients and quality, tracing custodian information, trust between stakeholders, informational flow, and last one is transparency. Group's vision and point of actions needed by managers.